Family business makes no sense. So let's talk about it.
I'm John Kempfield, the Family Business Solutionist, and welcome to this introduction to a series of videos which are going to talk about why I believe, having worked with families in business for well over 25 years, the very concept of family business makes no sense. The simple reality is we've been sold a pup. There's an awful lot of tyre pumping and arm waving to suggest that family business is a thing of beauty, that families in business love what they do, love being together, have great success, enjoy peace, enjoy prosperity, and it's a wonderful thing. The reality is that family business just doesn't make any sense in any rational way. And frankly, anybody who chooses to get their family involved in their business is nuts. They're crazy. They shouldn't do it, but they do. And family business, since biblical times and before, has been the most popular form of business ownership and management of all forms of business structure that have ever been created. And we all know that some business families and some family businesses are very good indeed. They're very good businesses. They can employ a lot of people. They can be anything from a tiny business to a very large one. And they can create fabulous opportunities for the families that lie behind them and generate substantial wealth. If you look at the BRW Rich 200 list, you'll find that over 2/3 of the residents in that list have a background in family business, and many of them still have families in business. But for every one successful family business, there are probably at least 10 that have gone horribly wrong. And usually they've gone horribly wrong because for a variety of reasons, those businesses have encountered conflict, and the conflict has damaged the family and in many cases destroyed the business. So my basic proposition is that if you look at the key factors that make a business successful, such as profit drive, competitiveness, objective problem solving and decision making, results orientation, performance requirements, merit based advancement, and compare that with the major factors that make families happy, which are things like nurture and protection, looking after the weakest family member, decisions based on emotional concerns rather than objective or financial concerns, and heavily influenced by relationships rather than roles and responsibilities and positions. Status in the business that is more a matter of birthright than it is a matter of competence. If we line up a whole raft of factors that make businesses successful and compare them with comparable factors that make families happy, we find they are directly opposed. That's why I say family business as a concept makes no sense. But if we see that there are many successful business families and that for the foreseeable future, many families will continue to choose to go into business with other family members, then we need to explore what is it they do differently, because it's certainly not reliance on luck, that changes the high probability of failure into a good possibility of success. And what we can see, certainly what I have seen in my work with these business families over the years, is that by introducing the right knowledge, adequate focus, proper effort, upgrading skills, tapping into the wisdom of others that know what to do and what not to do to make things successful, and overall creating a culture of discipline in both the family and the business that mean that whatever plans are made are actually carried out and people are held accountable for their performance and their results, These are the sorts of things that will enable a family to have a good chance of having a successful business without destroying the family in the process. Now, why is it so different in a family business to an ordinary business or to an ordinary family? Well, the fact of the matter is you've got three systems interacting. You've got normal business systems which are hard enough to operate in order to make a success of a business and keep it sustainably profitable. Added into that, you've got the needs of running a happy family, which, as we all know, if we've been in a family context, and most of us had parents at the very least, and a lot of us have now got kids and a whole panoply of other relatives floating around. And we know that although we get joys, we also get lows. And if we don't work on relationships, they tend to either go sour or just entropy. So we're saying in families, as in businesses, you've got to work on it. And then into that, we've got the needs and interests of a whole raft of individuals who are affected by the family business. And they're people who may be in the business, may not be in the business, may be in the family, may not be in the family, may be owners, may not be owners, may be leaders and managers or not. There's a complex tangle of positions, needs and interests. And when you bring those three systems together, unless they are working smoothly and in sync with the right sort of lubricants and the right sort of motors behind them, you are bound to get friction, and you are bound to get damage, and you are bound to get bad outcomes. So what do we know that will help us to have a successful family business? This is where we move on to better ground, because every family business association around the world and every academic institute and every academic writer who talks about what to do in a family business is essentially suggesting there is such a thing as family business best practice. And although the academics will deny that such a thing exists because it hasn't yet been empirically proved what you have to do and what you don't have to do, the reality is that for anybody working in this area, we have seen over and over again where families go wrong and what they need to do to get it right. And indeed, those very things are recognised in the annual awards that most of these organisations give to businesses for being good examples of great family businesses. Now, this is a concept of best practice that the business world has embraced for well over 100 years. From the times when corporations were getting larger, production was becoming more automated, and the numbers were becoming significantly greater, there has been proper study into what makes a business work well. And once they've worked out what you need to do and how you need to do it to be able to replicate good outcomes, you distill that into a best practice, and it is then generically applicable to other similar businesses, and it becomes a mud map of what to do to achieve success without reinventing the wheel every time you have to do something in your business. That is what needs to happen in our family business to achieve success. And in some of the following videos, we'll be talking in more detail about the concept of family business best practice. The key takeaway is you have to separate your thinking and your planning and your structures and your systems for the family from those that operate in the business and vice versa. So business systems have to be business first. They have to be based on commercial concerns. And any family business, any family member coming into the family business should be subject to ordinary, rational, commercial business best practices, rules and policies and procedures. That then leaves the family free to become a family-first family where its decision-making is driven by what is the best thing for us to do for the benefit of our family members as family members. And from there, such things as we have a family member who has difficulty in interacting with other people, avoiding disruptive behaviours, performing to a high level, a whole raft of different things. Now, traditionally, family businesses are used as safe harbours for these sorts of family members. And reality is that creates a lot of resentments from non-family employees who see a glass ceiling because a family member who is less capable than them gets precedence in the job mill. And it creates conflict with other family members who see that bird with a broken wing being preferred and protected, often by parents, whilst they are going out and, to their minds, putting in very much more effort and making very much better contributions to the fortunes of the business. So fundamentally, if we don't follow best practice, if we don't separate family from business, we are setting ourselves up for conflict. And conflict is what I'm going to talk about in the second part of this introduction to this series. So I hope you found this interesting, and if you have, please get in touch if you have any questions. We've got another 50 of these videos where I will dive into the individual causes of conflict and what to do about them. And the next part of the intro, talking about conflict, what it is, how it affects families, will come up soon. Thanks for watching.